Hey, this is Mariela from the Functional Company. So when is the best time to prepare for pregnancy? So I want to touch on this because it's a very interesting fact that 1 out of 5 women end up having miscarriages. 1 out of 5 pregnancies end up in miscarriage. So that's a huge number. That's approximately 20%. And besides that, there are many women who have a difficult time getting pregnant. It's very, very common. If you start to survey people around you, it's actually a very common occurrence, and it shouldn't be this way, right? It should be a very simple thing. But nevertheless, it's something we're experiencing. Sometimes because it's a toxin overload, very oftentimes it's just a level of stress that the woman is experiencing. And oftentimes it's also just the nutrition is completely off. So these are the 3 main factors that we have to handle, right? The stress, the nutrition, and the toxin overload. But one of the things that happens is some of the women who come to me, they're very stressed out because they want to get pregnant now. And they're not able to get pregnant. And the stress itself is one of the main reasons why the pregnancy won't happen. So it's a little bit of a circular trap there because you have to relax and not be stressed in order to optimize your chances. But then you don't get pregnant, then you get stressed out again, and it's just this crazy cycle, right? So we want to avoid that altogether. And if we can get at it before you even need to get pregnant, that is to say, let's say you're going to want to get pregnant 1 or 2 years or 5 years down the road, later you're going to want to get pregnant, that's the best time to prepare for pregnancy. If you get to the point where you're just like, well, it'll be fine, and then you don't do anything about it, you don't prepare your body, and then you have difficult time getting pregnant, then we have a compounded stress at that point that it's a little bit harder to deal with, right? So usually when somebody comes to me, depends on what we're doing. The nutritional aspect is very simple, but sometimes if we have to detox, then the woman should not be getting pregnant during the detox, right? Because a lot of stuff's getting dumped into the blood system. It's not a good idea to get pregnant. So that's why I say it's kind of like, let's really set up the body. You got to give yourself 6 months or a year to really prepare nutritionally, really detox the body, and just optimize your body in order to get pregnant. And we don't just want to get pregnant, we want the pregnancy to be as smooth as possible, and we want the delivery to be as smooth as possible. And that's going to happen by creating a lot of the proper environment way before you're going to get pregnant. The other reason for that is that you want to have really good nutritional habits before you get pregnant. And then when you get pregnant, it's very easy to keep those nutritional habits. But if you don't have good habits beforehand, once you get into the pregnancy, it can just get a little bit wild and uncontrolled in terms of nutrition and what you're eating. So that the best time to prepare is way before you even need to get pregnant or even want to get pregnant, but you will, right? And so it's almost like when you get credit. I don't know if you've ever, applied for credit, but basically, the moment that you need credit, if you apply for credit, it's less likely that you'll get the credit at the moment when you need it. But if you get credit when you don't need it, if you apply for credit cards or just ask for credit when you don't need it, it's very likely that you'll get it. And that's the best time to apply for credit, is when you don't need it, because you're going to build up your credit and you don't need it, but you're setting yourself up. And then if in the future at some point you need it, it's right there, right? Well, it's the same thing with your body. You want to really prepare the body and create the conditions, the habits and the conditions, so that when you want to be pregnant, it's a very smooth and easy situation. It's a very easy experience, and the delivery is also optimized, right? So it's way before, at least a year before. Really plan, and now if you're listening to this and you're like, oh my gosh, well, I want to get pregnant now, but like I wish that I would have seen this video 2 years ago or whatever, but here I am. See if you can just create 6 months, 3 to 6 months of really creating the environment. Focus on creating the environment for your body to get pregnant, right? Give yourself that time, and don't just rush into getting pregnant, because then you might have other things that you're gonna have to deal with along the road. That's my personal viewpoint. You can do, of course, whatever makes the most sense to you, but I just wanted to share that because I do notice that sometimes, women get really stressed out at the moment that they're really trying to get pregnant, and at that point it's a little trickier to really help someone smoothly, right? We want to create a little bit of space, a little bit of time to set up the body nutritionally with good habits, internal nutrients, make sure the body is not overloaded with toxins. Then the rest of it is a smooth ride. But for that, we need a little bit of time, at least 6 months if you're already wanting to get pregnant. But if you can do this a year or 2 beforehand, that's even better. All right, thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you on the flip side. Hey, if you're liking the information on this channel, don't forget to subscribe, click the button, and share this with your friends and family. We've got lots more information coming. Thanks so much for being here.